question is from Vietnam. How do you achieve a cool beige blonde on Asian hair, a beautiful blend in the mid-shaft, starting at level 3, 4. The target level and color would be level 8, 9. So how do you achieve that, especially on Asian hair or hair that's very coarse? Now, I would suggest that you start with a good, solid lightening procedure first. And on very dark hair, I would do this in 2 steps. First step, I would utilize a high lift with 40 volume. It doesn't matter which high lift, it's just something that's not very controlling because it's just the first step of the lightening process. Therefore, I'm going to use any of the high lift. For example, violet ash. I know in Asia you have different shades than we have in North America. So utilize one of the least controlling high lift because you're just trying to lift, not necessarily control. You're not stopping after the first procedure. So high lift, 40 volume, pre-lighten the hair or lighten the hair to, I would say will take you to a level 7. Level 7 is a great level to be at when you're trying to achieve a level 8 or 9. So after level 7, after you achieve a level 7, so let me mention, this is off scalp, all over the hair, but not on the scalp. So you're trying to just blend it in off the scalp and saturate the hair in the mid-shaft and ends. Process it for 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how much lift you want to get. And when you achieve the level of lift that you want, cleanse the hair, shampoo, condition it, and blow dry it. Second step now is going from a level 7 to a level 9. Let's just get a little bit more ambition here, so because it's possible. Now, what are you utilizing? You can utilize silk lift with 10 or 20 volume. Now you're very close to your target. Now this second step of pre-lightening is just going to ensure that the hair is going to be cleansed properly and you're going to get a beautiful blonde shade. Even though it's still going to be yellow or goldeny, the important part here is that you're achieving the level that you're targeting. And so after you pre-lighten the hair, cleanse it, condition it again, and now I would proceed with toning. Now you have a few options in toning. You have color-ons, you have a lumen, you have cover plus, you actually have also top shake glazes if you want to definitely get into the cortex and really control that hair. It would be my last option actually, but if I am that ambitious, I would probably use for top shake a glaze, which is 10 volume, water, and whatever shade color you need to do to control and to tone the hair. This is in equal parts. So for example, 10 mils of water, 10 mils of 10 volume, and 10 mils of color. That's exactly what a glaze is. If you would use color-ons by manufacturer instructions, just mix color-ons and just tone the hair, just get rid of some of the unwanted underlying pigment left behind, yellow, gold, so on and so forth. And please utilize a combination of shades anywhere from level 10, which will be 10V, 10P, 10BG in combination with something darker, more controlling. One of my favorite combinations is 8C8PB with 10BG, so a little bit of softness to that metallic shade. So it will control, but it will not really make it matte and not shiny, no reflection. So after you did the color-ons, this procedure actually will help balance the pH of the hair as well. So it's going to be a very soothing to the hair. This procedure is really amazing actually. So my first choice would be either a lumen or color-ons. If you need to do a little bit more controlling, then a top shake glaze. So please pick your product, and after you finish the toning, rinse, condition, and blow dry the hair. This is the best way to do that. And now at this point, you can do the root smudging, and it's almost like a reverse balayage. Instead of just doing the balayage and not being able to lighten the hair properly, and you'll have to go do it again in foil, it's too much work. You can't take the same strands, you can't get the same technique. So that's why I would do it this way. So it's almost like it's solid off the scalp, pre-lightening. First step with neutralites, second step with silk lift, third step is toning with color-ons or a lumen or top shake glaze. And now after you dry the hair, go back and just darken the roots or do this root smudge Usually at this point, colorants again would be a really good choice. If you want to lighten the base a little bit, you can use a top shake with 10 volume. It will just brighten it up a little bit, and I would use probably 8CA PB with top shake, so it will give it a lighter reflection without lifting so much and exposing too much underlying pigment. So starting from a level 3 or 4, it's going to make it look like almost like a level 5 or 6, but a cool result. So you can go and just overlap a little bit over the blonde, but then you can just do that mid shaft. You can utilize colorants, overlap over the top shake, and use colorants as your blending point. For that shade, I would use probably a 7N, 7NA, 7BG, or a combination of all of these. Maybe 7N, 8N, 7NA, BP. That's a really nice combination as well. So in terms of shades, it depends on the result you get. The blending is pretty much you're depositing color, or you're slightly lifting. If you choose top shake at the roots, then you're slightly lifting the roots, and then you overlap with colorants, depositing in the mid shaft right at the blending point in zone 2. So you can actually, the key to nice blending is to blend the colors together and overlap them, work them really well, and just kind of drag it a little bit on the shaft, not all the way through, because that's just going to make it darker. You can actually use some foils to put some darker pieces to deposit a bit more depth in the hair. And it's a technique that you will probably have to see in order to fully understand, but I'm just giving you a little bit of instructions of how I would do it, and I hope it was clear enough for you, and I hope you're successful with that. If you have any other questions, please message me or email me, make a comment, and then I will just go back and I'll make another video too and try to explain to you much more in depth of what I'm talking about. I hope you're not confused, or anyone.